Hello.
Okay. When you set that value, right? When you set that value to parameter, right? It will automatically populate that value here. 51. 51 is automatically populating, right? Let's open VA02 again. That value is set to that parameter. The specific value is set to that parameter so that it is automatically displaying here, right? That's what we are doing. We are setting value for this screen field, and in transaction code, call transaction code and skip first screen, and we are setting the value whatever the sales order number user clicked on, we are setting here, and we are skipping this first screen, and we are directly going to the second screen. For that, what we are using? Skip first screen, call transaction VA02 and skip the first screen. I'm setting the value here in set parameter. Okay. So we have parameters like set parameter and get parameter. Get parameter ID. You can read the value. You can read the value in parameter ID using this statement. If you want to know what is the default value that is set to the particular VBL number, you can read that value is in get parameter. You can capture that value to some field, for example, SV underscore VBELN. Now that value will be copied to this. Okay, clear? We need to define it. Actually, get parameter is not required here, but just telling you, set parameter is to set the value for parameter ID. You can find it for most of the fields. How can you find the parameter ID of a field? Where? Go to the field, click on F1, go to technical settings. You can find the parameter ID. There is another alternate option. For example, material number, right? This is the material number. Click on F1. Click on technical settings. For this, here we have parameter ID mat. Mat is the parameter ID for material number, right?
Okay.
There is another way to find it. Go to the table. For example, Mara display. What is the data element for material number? Matner, right? Double click on the data element.
Matner.
Go to further characteristics. What you can find here?
Mat.
So parameter ID will be configured in data element level. Okay. So there are different many advantages when we are using data elements and domains. We are not just using for reusable purpose only. There are many other advantages. When we are working more on the programs, we'll let to know about those options. Okay. So parameter ID, you can also find it in a domain level. Further characteristics domain. It is also very important interview question. What is parameter ID and where you can find parameter ID of a specific field? It is very, very, very important interview question. What is your answer? We can find parameter ID in domain level further characteristics. Or what is the alternative?
VA02.
What is the
Technical
alternative? Tell me.
settings.
Technical settings. We can also find it in technical settings. Click on F1 and click on this technical settings. You can also find it here. Okay. If you want to know, so here we have a screen, right? Order. If you want to know what is the table field that is mapped to this order, what is the table field that is mapped to this order? How can you know that? Order means what is the field that is mapped? Is it Matner? Is it EBLN or is it EBLP? What is the field for this order number? How can you find it? Again, same. F1 technical settings. What is the field that is mapped to this?
ABL.
What is the table, source table for this field? From where, what is the source table for this field?
ABK.
VBAK. Data element and parameter ID. You can find it here. Clear? It is very, very important. What is the set parameter and get parameter? Using set parameter, we can set default value for that specific field, screen field. Using get parameter, we can read the value. Already there is a value in that field, and if you want to read that value, if you want to know that value, we can use a get parameter ID. Okay, this is the syntax: set parameter and get parameter. So we have a concept called SAP memory and ABAP memory. So when we are discussing the ABAP memory and SAP memory, we'll discuss more about this. Okay, this is SAP memory. Okay, so we are setting values to the memory, and we can also read values from memory using get parameter. So for set parameter, we use this is the syntax. Just remember, get parameter is not required here in our example. For just remember, let's keep it and debug how it's going to work. Now execute the program. Now what is my expected output now? What is the expected output when I click on this record?
Different header level.
What is the expected output when I click on this? What is the functionality that we are expecting?
Sales order number.
It should display
Tokens
VA02 transaction code.
VA02.
VA02 transaction code. Is it displayed or not?
Yes, sir.
Go back and click on other order number. It should display 51, order number 51. Is it displayed order number 51 or different one?
51.
So they can change whatever they want. For example, they want to update the description. Click on save. Okay. Again, it came back to our original report. Right? Click on different sales order displayed. Do whatever the changes the business user need to do. Click on save and go back. Right? Now let's observe in debug mode. Click on here. Now debug should trigger. Now observe the structure, selection structure. What is the index? We clicked on 4.
Elephant.
That's why
A background
tab index is 4. Okay. We clicked on 4th record. That's why the tab index is 4. Okay. And the value is this 48. Field name is VBLN. Okay. So in the selection structure, we have that value. Value is this, and we are setting that value to this parameter ID. And next, if you read that value, what is the value we are able to get? 48, because we already set sales order number 48 to this parameter ID, and we are able to read the same value. Okay. Get parameter is to read the value what is already there in the parameter. Okay, clear? Call transaction, transaction name, and skip the first screen. Clear?
Clear.
This is one requirement. For example, if we want to display next level ALV, when we click on the order number, what we need to do? We have to write same code, whatever we write in the previous. Write the select statement. Use this value selections field VBLN value in where condition. Build the field catalog for item level display and call the grid display here. That one we'll see it tomorrow. Okay. This is what interactive ALV. We have to see displaying next level reports. We'll see that in the next session.